Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. Now I know it's been a while since we did the first part of this MX-5 challenge, but yeah, I've just been busy with a lot of other things. But yeah, finally going to get around to the last 3 races of this championship, so yeah, where are we going to be next? Right, we're going to be Eagle Rock Speedway, so not a particularly exciting racetrack here. There's not really that much to it, but yeah, we will at least upgrade the car somewhat. Being a more power circuit, I think we'll add a little bit of extra power to this car. So yeah, we've got 500 to play with. What can we get in that would put us up to a good amount of horsepower? 160, that'll do. Nice round number. Brakes, nope, can't afford those. Dampers, no. Increase the rear width of the tyres. What will that do for us? Yep, that'll increase the braking a little bit. Right, so we've got wider tyres and more power, so easily enough done and easy enough to understand. So obviously the wider tyres will add a little bit of extra weight to the car, but we've got 18 horsepower extra than what we had originally, or before we upgraded the car further. So yeah, 18 extra horsepower will more than make up for a slight increase in weight due to wider front and rear tyres. So yeah, now we can do all of this skip practice malarkey. We don't have to go through numerous cutscenes that we can't skip or anything like that. We could just get straight into the race pretty much as quickly as we could in previous Forza Motorsport games, which should have been the case to start with. So yeah, non-Forza Motorsport news has been pretty interesting lately in terms of Forza Horizon 5. From today, as in when this video is uploaded, we're getting 10 cars added to the game, 8 of which are coming via the festival playlist, so that'll be starting from Thursday, the week that this video is uploaded, and 4 are coming via the 6 are coming via the festival playlist, sorry, and 4 are coming via a new car pack that's called the Acceleration Car Pack. Now granted, one of the cars we've already had on this game, the McLaren Sabre, but it's nice to finally have that car in Forza Horizon 5, especially since that game obviously has some quite big straights to make the most of that car's really rather good speed and turn of and power. But 3 of the cars in that car pack we've never had in a Forza game before, I believe. One of which is like a 2,000 horsepower super van, all electric. Obviously Ford have done super vans in the past, but they've all been combustion engine vehicles. So yeah, to get a 2,000 horsepower all electric van is going to be really quite fun. Also getting Ginetta into a Forza game for the first time, maybe. They might well have been in one of the older Forza Motorsport games, 4 backwards, but I can't ever remember Ginetta being in a Forza game. And if they were, it was most likely going to be a racing car from them, as they've had a long racing history. But it's a fully fledged road car. It's got 60s aesthetics on the outside, but it's got all the kind of modern stuff on the underneath, with a sizable V8 engine, which I'm really looking forward to driving. Also getting a Shelby GT500. Now this is not the KR version that we've had in, I think we had that in the first 4 Forza Motorsport games, but we've not had that for a very long time. It's not that version, because yeah, that car had less power than this one is that was being added, and in the live stream that they did for Forza Horizon, it was getting into 4th gear, which I don't believe the KR had. I think it only had 3-speed gearbox on that from what I can remember in Forza Motorsport. But I've also not seen any of the decals on the side of the vehicle that has been shown off for Forza Horizon that have the same decals as the KR did. So I think it's a different one. It's from a different year, so it should theoretically be a different one. But even if it's not, it's one of my favourite Shelby GT500s from the 60s. It's one of my favourite general muscle cars. And it does give me hope that maybe the GT500 CJ will be added at some point, because I love the look of that car. Really radically different to any other Mustang from that period. And yeah, I love the name, because CJ is short for Cobra Jet, and that is just an awesome name. So yeah, hopefully that'll get added in. Yeah, the car pack overall looks good, and so do the festival playlist vehicles that are being added as well. Again, I believe they're all new to the Forza series. Like some McLaren Artura, which is McLaren's first ever V6 road car, which has also got some mild hybrid elements to it. And we've got, I'm struggling to remember off the top of my head, I think we've got a new Ford Mustang SVT Cobra coming in as well. It's from the early 2000s, but it's not the red one that we've come used to with that giant rear wing. It's a different version. Still looking forward to it. What else? We've got another car that's coming in to Forza Horizon 5 that we've already had in this game. We've got the 2020 Audi TT RS, which I'm fine with. You know, I'm not a big fan of Audi TTs in general, but to have another new version of that is no bad thing, especially given, you know, they've gone the way of the Dodo nowadays with the Audis stripping back their sports cars. No more TT, no more R8. So at least we get it in the game now. I'll be able to actually go out and buy one. So yeah, it's all looking good, to be honest, in terms of Forza Horizon 5 at the moment. Unlike this game, which we've only had, I think, the second, maybe third non-race car added via the car pass with the Toyota 86 TRD SE, which I really like. But yeah, we've just not had enough road cars via the car pass, to be honest. It's been extremely centred on race cars, and I just don't think that strikes a good balance for what people will like on this game. I know full well not everyone likes driving race cars on this game. You only have to look at the online lobbies and see, even in like A class and upwards, not everyone's in a racing car. Some will be, but a lot of people do like their road cars, and it just feels like they're only really trying to cater to one audience with the car pass, which is a shame, because obviously you're paying for it, you're not sure what you're going to be getting at the time, and yeah, it just seems to be a big disappointment, and for now it has been overall a waste of money, which is not something I think I've said about the car passes. Not that I've had no problems with other car passes in the past. I mean, I think Forza Horizon 4 had a few cars in that were basically just slightly different versions to cars that were already in the game, but they were few and far between in comparison to the grand scheme of the car pass overall, which generally was very strong. And we've only come in second place. Despite all that extra power we gave the car, it just wasn't enough to get into first. But still, second is pretty good. Had a good overall lap time there in terms of our fastest, and yeah, we're still 7 points ahead of second place, who has moved into second from third. So yeah, still everything to play for with this championship though, so yeah, should keep us on our toes, considering we're only 7 points ahead, but that is at least a decent enough gap, and we're going to be on a much better circuit now with Homestead-Miami Speedway for 5 laps. So let's see what upgrades we can give this car. We've only got 400 to play with this time. I think brakes maybe, but we can only give sport brakes, which for some reason or another are actually heavier than the normal street or stock brakes, and the race brakes apparently no lighter than the stock ones. That makes no sense, because you'd expect them to be carbon ceramic or something like that, which is typically lighter than normal. We'll just whack it up to street brakes then. Save on the points. Can we whack some weight out with the driveline? Get rid of some of that fat from the wider tyres. Yeah. 165, 177. We'll go to 175. I'm a stickler for even-ish numbers, or at least numbers that look nice to me. I don't know why, but this is the way it is. So yeah, got even more power now and less in the way of weight, so that should help. As you can see, our acceleration is up to 2.3, speed is up to 2.0, handling is level at 2.7, but it has apparently gone up slightly. It's probably the G that has slightly gone up in terms of the kind of G we can pull at 60 or 100 miles an hour, and yeah, the braking has gone up to 2.5. So all of that should help with this circuit because there's more corners on Homestead-Miami, but while also there are still some quite long straights. So it's a bit more of a mix than Eagle Rock, which, like I said, I'm not a fan of at all. It's one of those boring circuits you could possibly put in a game like this, as far as I'm concerned.
Track temps can reach over 130 degrees here on a hot,
Skip the practice.
This may reduce your tires' grip around this road.
So we're at night time, so we get to see our pop-up headlights in this race. Come on. Don't know why the loading times take so long. You'd think with the power of this new this console that has been, well, this game with this console that it's been made for, would be a lot quicker, but apparently not. Right, so there we go. Right. See if we can improve upon our previous race position. As you can see, still not been able to remove driver paint jobs and whatnot for some reason. Somebody's gotten taken off there. If that car got a penalty there. Definitely feeling a little bit faster with that 15 extra horsepower and the reduction in weight. Oh dear. I was braking before. Oh, yeah. Maybe it was avoidable, but I also don't see why they were pretty much coming to a dead stop there. It's not the slowest of corners at the end of the day. But we quickly caught back up due to our extra turn of speed. See, he's just done the same to that driver there, because they were also quite heavily braking. Someone else has gone off on their own, got some understeer there. Do wish we had the Mazda Speed MX-5, because I actually quite like that car. I don't think it's a particularly popular generation for the MX-5, but I really do like it, especially since it's got quite a potent turbocharged engine. Next upgrade we'll have to do is suspension. It is a little bit on the wobbly side of things, but we are at least now in second, so we are matching our position in the previous race. But like I said, I want to be ahead of this. Might well have upgraded the brakes, but they're still not the best. Still quite strange to me that the race brakes aren't lighter than the stock brakes. Yeah, the suspension on this is definitely a little bit too soft to be dealing with this extra turn of speed and power and torque that we've got going on. A lot more gentle with it going through the corners, and especially coming out of them. smooth, be gentle, be calm. Gaining, gaining, around the outside. Definitely notice that the extra power and the reduction in weight has made a big difference. To remember what else is coming in the festival pairs for Forza Horizon 5. Also looked at that lineup of cars several times since yesterday, but it's slipping my mind outside of the couple that I've already mentioned. Oh well, we are also getting 2 vehicles added via a new race-off mode. It's been added, so there are 2 race-off modes: there's asphalt and off-road, and basically do certain races and events and whatnot in either category, and you'll get the scoreboard going up for whichever side you're on, although you can pick both sides apparently, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, once those scoreboards reach the top, then yeah, for asphalt we'll get the 2024 Ford Mustang GT, and for the off-road one we'll get the 2023 Ford F-150 Raptor R, I think it is. So yeah, I like the look of both of those cars, especially the Mustang, which I really like the look of the new front that they've got going on with that, especially with those new headlights. I think it looks really rather neat, so yeah, looking forward to trying both of those out, but obviously I can only do so when they actually get unlocked. So I'll be doing my utmost to contribute to either of those, or both. Although the Mustang is the one I'm looking forward to most, so I'll probably concentrate on asphalt to start with. But yeah, it's a community-led event, so obviously it doesn't depend on myself to get into a certain point. Apparently something's happening for April Fools as well, so maybe a comedy car or a comedy joke car or something's going to be added. What that could be, I don't know. But if it is a car added, then I'm all for it regardless of what it is. It could literally be anything. Doesn't even have to necessarily even be a car at the end of the day. It could just be the game changes in a certain manner for that one day. Right, coming to the final lap, and we've still got a healthy lead.
One more lap.
Yeah, even with the suspension on this being on the softer side of things, once you get used to it, it is manageable. Clearly though, the weak element for this is going to be the brakes, considering we don't gain any reduction in weight from them being upgraded. Luckily, obviously, the car is quite lightweight anyway, so it doesn't have a huge amount of momentum to slow down. So we're going to gain a good second and a bit on our best lap time. Yes, we did. 1 minute 45.76. So, yeah, that is a pretty quick lap time. Comfortably ahead of whoever else is there that we were against. I'm nearly 3 seconds ahead of second place. I'm just quickly looking at what cards are going to be added by the festival playlist, because it was really rather quite annoying me. Oh yeah, the Jaguar F-Type SVR is getting added as well. That's the one I was missing out on. Because I mentioned the Mustang, I mentioned the McLaren Artura, the Audi TT, and the two that are going to be added via the race-off thing. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the likes of the Mustang and the McLaren, and the two that are going to get added via the race-off event. TT should be fun to drive on something like Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, but outside of that, I don't think I'm going to do a review on it. It's too similar to the previous version. But still, Virginia International Raceway for our last race in this championship. So we've got 5 laps again. So yeah, let's see what upgrades we can give. We've not got a lot to play with, to be honest, and we can't do the springs, which is a shame. And we can't even do weight. Can we do the chassis at least somewhat? Yeah, that adds a ton of weight, doesn't it? Roll bars. Well, I guess we can give the race. No point. It's really annoying that tyre compound's too much. We'll upgrade the rear tyres. And we'll lose the weight that we gained for the most part from that wider rear tyres by improving the clutch. Having a race clutch obviously means that we can deal with the additional power that we've got. Obviously we don't have enough to improve the transmission itself, but the clutch is a something that needs to be upgraded when you are upgrading the power in a car, especially when you're doing it in a significant manner, because otherwise the standard clutch will burn out and you just won't be able to take it. So yeah.
The Virginia International
Practice.
Raceway closed in 1974 and didn't reopen again until 2000. After a
Race,
total
12th position again. I actually forgot to look at how many points ahead we were at the start of that race, at the end of that race. I do apologise, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be comfortably ahead. Does not let us check. No. Oh well. Alright, let's whack this fuel down to 7 laps. I like a little bit of leeway just in case we start going off-road by accident. Because if you do go on the dirt or in a sand trap or anything like that, you are obviously going to start revving the engine quite heavily to get out. And that does eat up fuel. And you don't want to be right on the margin of having fuel and not having it. So this circuit can be extremely tight in places, so it can be quite hard to get a overtake in. But there is a big straight at one point, or at least a quite a fast section, so it should hopefully widen up, and we do obviously have a fair decent amount of power on the go. Oopsie daisy. always turns into a slight demo derby on this circuit given how tight it can be. That's the worst paint job I've ever seen on a car ever. Why would you just make your bonnet lime green and leave the rest red? Red and green don't go together without something in between. Really wish we had the points to do the suspension, because yeah, we are pushing it to the limit with the kind of power and speed we've given this car. Outside of those, someone else looks like they've gone off and then had a crash with someone else. Not good times for either of those there. It's a good rate of speed there, 119 miles an hour. It's a bit faster than you will be getting up to with this car with its standard output of power. So yeah, I'd be interested to hear what your favourite, or the car you're most excited for from the upcoming festival players for Forza Horizon 5, and whether or not you think the car pack is worth it, or any of the car packs have been worth it. I know a lot of people have been a bit irate about the fact that they're paying, or these car packs have been becoming a monthly thing now. I personally don't mind it, especially given that outside of the cars that have already been a part of this game that have been added, but they've only been once per car pack. They've not been, you know, 2 or 3 per car pack, and there's only been 3 of them so far now, I think, with the McLaren Sabre in the new car pack, the Automobili Pininfarina Battista, and I'm forgetting another one. I'm pretty sure there was a third one, but regardless, you know, it still is a free car pack, and it's not that much for it. Enjoy driving on Forza Horizon 5 as much as I do, as well as, you know, racing online or just racing in general, then, you know, more cars to play with is only ever a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, and at the end of the day, 6 cars are getting added by the festival players, so more cars are getting added for free than are getting added to purchase. So, you know, they're still putting plenty in there for free at the end of the day. That has been something that's been consistent since that game pretty much launched, so they've added, I think, well over 200 cars via the festival playlist by this point. Obviously not all of them are new to the Forza series, but they seem to have balanced it really well in terms of, you know, new additions to the Forza series and older ones being returned. And for the most part, the ones that have returned haven't been part of the points bit of the festival playlist. They've usually been part of a seasonal championship or some other way of unlocking the car. And obviously doing a seasonal championship is a lot easier than gaining, you know, 20 or 40 points or 80 or 160 points for the overall series. So, you know, I've had no real problems with the festival playlist at all. It's been very, very well balanced, and the amount of new cars to the series that have been added that I've enjoyed has just been exceptional, to be honest. There's been just so many, and then the fact that we got, you know, the likes of the 62 Lincoln Continental being added, considering we've not had that car ever since Forza Motorsport 4, and I think it's the only time that car's ever been in a Forza game before. Forza Horizon 5 is, yeah, just was a real treat. Because it's just an icon of American design, and yeah, as well has a place in any racing game. So that's just ecstatic that that was added. And yes, granted, it was part of the points believe. I think it was 20 points. But considering how long it's been since we've actually had that car in a game, I didn't mind. It was basically a new addition to the series as far as I'm concerned, considering how long it's been since Forza Motorsport 4 came around. So yeah, I think they've done really well. No idea when the Festival players this is going to revert back to, you know, like it did with Forza Horizon 4, where eventually when that game was coming towards the end of its life, this just ended up putting up prizes that were reruns of older ones, or, you know, just wheel spins and little cash prizes. But considering how long the game's been going, and the fact that no word of Forza Horizon 6 is on the horizon, to put it as a pun, I don't see the game getting the support pulled anytime soon. Probably when we get towards summer, I imagine, because that's when they usually announce new games. But considering Playground Games have been busy with the Fable game that they're bringing out, it could well very be that we don't get a new Horizon game until late next year. So Forza Horizon 5 could still continue to be added to with new cars, new modes, new additions, and new car packs. So. But it's all speculation at the end of the day. For all I know, there's a Forza Horizon 6 literally 3 or 4 months away, and the trailer isn't far out. I just hope that this game starts getting better, to be honest. Regardless of what Horizon is doing, this game should be a lot better than it is at the moment, and yeah, that's just not the case at the moment. Not enough cars are being added to the game, especially new ones, new road cars particularly, and yeah, it just doesn't feel like there's been enough movement. Oh, I did not push you into that wall, you went there yourself. There just doesn't feel to be enough movement on content, basically. I know I've still got the career mode to go through, as I am right now, but that's just me taking my time with it. I know some people played the entire career mode in less than a week. I'm just taking my time with it because it's part of my video uploads. If I had, you know, if I wasn't doing this or wasn't uploading these career mode career championships up to YouTube, then yeah, I might well have done it already. So yeah, and there are already some championships here and there, but there's just not enough of them as far as I'm concerned. It's like, what, a championship of like 4 races, and then you have to wait a week for the next one to come up. It's not enough. But regardless, there we go. We got again a quickest lap time by quite some considerable margin. And yeah, that seals us at the top with another 28 points, 17 points ahead of second, and 33 points ahead of third place. So yeah, as not a massive fan of the MX-5, that was a fairly enjoyable championship. I wish there were more versions of the MX-5 that we could have chosen, but obviously there isn't, so we were quite limited, unfortunately. But still, fun enough championship, given it was pretty much only a 1 or 2 make car championship, and yeah, the car itself was pretty much good for the most part. So yeah, nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.